Thanks for staying with us here on Prime Morning, and Kwaku Asante will be back again tomorrow for fellow Ghanaians. So we'll move on. We'll talk about news flash and details. And of course, if you joined me earlier, you know already some of the things that we'll be looking at. But this morning, so last night, we are told that Ken Ofori-Atta has been detained at the ICE detention facility. We also have an idea of the facility that he's been detained. We'll be looking at that also here on the show as well. You can also send your messages to us. Let us know what you think. And you can do so on our WhatsApp line that is active. You can also do so on our Facebook page. We're streaming live on Facebook, so you can go there and send us your messages. Let us know what you think about it. If we have time, we'll be looking at His Excellency the President's 1 year in office. Inflation has gotten into a single digit. Now, moving forward, is it a reflection of what is on the grounds? Do you feel as an individual, if you go to the market, do you feel that a bit of pressure has been taken away from you in terms of how much you're supposed to be buying things from the market? We'll be looking at that also here on the show. Now, the NPP says that they are actually in full contention of the by-election at Ayawaso East. I remember that we lost the sitting MP a couple of days ago. We'll be looking at that conversation also if we have more time to do so. But yesterday I couldn't read most, in fact I was never able to read any of your messages. Today I'll try and do my best, and so please do well and send them to us. But I sincerely apologize for our inability to read your messages yesterday. All right, thank you so much for always being a part of our conversations here on the show. Now don't forget, News Flash is proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, Phones Papa Parfait, and then also Koa Natural Fruit Juice is what you need to discover the authentic taste of Ghana with the Koa Natural. Enjoy a fresh taste from Koa with our cocoa, which is obviously what is used for Koa Natural Fruit Juice. Now, from every taster out there, you're definitely doing well for the Ghanaian cocoa farmer. So please do well and make a purchase today and enjoy with your friends, your family, your loved ones. And it's always naturally refreshing and stimulating with every taste and bad. And so go ahead. It's proudly made here in Ghana. It's proudly Ghanaian. And believe me, it is the best on the market that you need to make sure that you're grabbing today as you go about your daily activities. Franco Trading Enterprise says you can pick up the very best of mobile phones, accessories from us, whether it's Nokia, whether it's Samsung, whether it's iPhones, smart TVs. You can also get your blenders, your microwaves from us as well. Franco Trading Air Condition is also available. You can also grab your generator, your gas and electric stove also from us. Those of us who want to monitor our offices and homes when we are not around, our CCTV cameras will do exactly that for you. The picture quality is top notch, and that's what you need. We say go ahead and walk into any of our branches and enjoy the discount of 40%, and you do well to also download the app. It's the Franco Trading app on Google Play Store, and you can also visit our website. It's www.francotrading.com, and you're good to go. You can get all our branches and also our delivery ways of getting all our equipment and appliances and everything that you need. Franco Trading Enterprise will be always there for you. Franco Trading Enterprise says still Phones Papa Parfait. Newsflash is proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Now, I've got a couple of the newspapers. Obviously, they've returned to active business right now after going on break for a while. So we'll be looking at some of the reports that have come out from the front page of the newspapers. My guest, as always, will be seated this morning for us to take a look at our substantive issue as we always done here on the show. But I'm sure by now you know which of them will be looking at it, so you can also send your messages to us. Now, I'll start off with the Ghanaian Times newspaper, and this morning is reporting on Otumfuo's visit, and it says massive push needed to stimulate domestic private investment. As Antehene says, so he paid a visit to the Bank of Governor, and they had some conversations that yesterday we played some of them for you as well. Now, gridlock deepens at Kwame Nkrumah Interchange North Industrial Area, and that area, if you've used that area, quite recent, you know what we're talking about. The congestion over there is crazy. Now, public reactions to Constitution Day, Mahama 1 year, and President Mahama renews vows to Ghanaians, promises ethical leadership at all levels. That also captured by the Ghanaian Times this morning. Away from that, Daily Guide is here, and it says Ken is the leader Ghana wants. Naatoshi speaks on that. Samira cries foul over Baumia. smear campaign, and offensive Samproso crash claims 10 lives. NDC's first year in office, Mahama pledges integrity, inclusive governance, and 60 ministers promise cost NDC supporters jobs. Esiedu Nketia says so. And that's also the Daily Guide this morning. The Chronicle says, Dombo family speaks. We don't support Brian. Dr. Baumia is our candidate. SD Dombo's nephew declares support for Brian. And Primpag Glometh condemn assault on class media journalist. And 1 year in office, Mahama touts economic stabilization. Now, the president of GJA has vowed to pursue this case of the assault on the journalist. And we all condemn that, on certain terms, that at any point in time, a journalist will be treated the way he was treated by the Ghana Fire Service. In fact, the DJA is calling for the dismissal of the PRO who spoke on the issue when the heat, came up. And for some of the things that he actually said, were totally out of place, if you ask me. And I believe that, we shouldn't have put journalists in such situation. Now, whilst you're doing your job. Now, the Inside is reporting on some mines issues, and it says Mines Watch slams minority and says its criticism of rock risk undermining Ghana's gold reforms, and also the banking tribes side. Venezuela's Bolivarian revolution still stands. Ghana's future under Mahama promising, though challenges remain. Arise, Ghana says so. And the U.S. invasion of Venezuela, not based on narco-terrorism, Gamal Nasser Adams says so. Death toll from U.S. attack on Venezuela approaches 80. And Ni Patapa, promises rapid development for Okobeye, Lands Ministry Communications boss fates underprivileged children in show of exceptional patriotism. That's also captured by the Inside newspaper. And then the last one for me will be the Daily Democrat, and it says Rise Ghana endorses Mahama's 1 year performance, and Kwabre South MCE fingered in private use of school land at Etmentim. Marseille. Otunfo urges police chiefs collaboration, and Gold Board World Gold Council explores strategic partnership on ASM formalization and traceability. That's also captured by the Daily Democrat. GJ demands sack of fire officers over journalist attack, and NPA chief addresses 77th New Year School and conference at the University of Ghana. And that's also captured by the Daily Democrats this morning. You can grab a copy and read all about it, and that brings us to our major conversation on the issues that were mentioned earlier. And I would like to say a big thank you to Franco Trading Enterprise and also Koa Natural Fruit Juice for bringing us News Flash. This morning I've been joined in studio by the very distinguished lawyer Kwame Jantua, leading member of CPP. Lawyer, good morning. How are you doing?
Very well. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, and I hope you've rested well. Or you never did?
No.
It was work
right through Christmas.
Wow. For God and catch, as you always say.
Christmas Day.
I know. But thank you so much for the time this morning. I really appreciate your time here on the show. We've also been joined again by the very distinguished Honorable Henry Kobinako Kufu. He's a former MP, Bantama constituency, and he's here with us. Honorable, a very good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good. Happy New Year.
Yeah, thank you. Happy New Year to you as well, and to your cherished viewers and listeners. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for the time. Really appreciate it. And also been joined this morning by another very distinguished, individual, Honorable Peter Yaw Kwakye Ackah. He's been here many times, and I think it's the first time we're meeting in this year.
This year? No, the second time.
We have the second time, yeah. Oh, I see. So Happy New Year still.
Happy New Year. We are still there. New Year mood.
Yes.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you and your cherished viewers and my co-panelists and my constituents.
Awesome.
Amenfi Central. Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And Honorable is former MP for Amenfi Central, and he's also joined us this morning as well for us to take a look at some of the issues. We'll be looking forward to reading from you as well. So please do well and send your messages to us a bit later. We'll try and read all of them. Now, the U.S. immigration authorities have detained Ken Ofori-Atta over visa status. In a sense, former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has been detained by the United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, over questions surrounding the status of his stay in the country. His legal team has actually confirmed as of last night, according to a statement released on the matter. Mr. Ofori-Atta is currently cooperating fully with ICE, while lawyers engage the authorities to resolve the issue as quickly as possible. Now, the statement also explained that Mr. Ofori-Atta has a pending petition for adjustment of status process under U.S. law that allows an individual to remain illegally in the country beyond the validity of an initial visa. Now, his legal team says this is a common immigration procedure and expects that the matter will be resolved expeditiously. Now, the holding place as of last night that we understand as the former finance minister has been put is actually, and he's spending a night and possibly a few days in the former Virginia jail. That's Pullman Creek Regional Jail, repurposed into a detention center. That is the Caroline Detention Facility. This is a former regional jail repurposed to house immigration detainees under the United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE. Now, the facility previously was known as the Pullman Creek Regional Jail and has a capacity of about 336 adult detainees, both men and women. And I've seen a couple of pictures of the facility, but I'll start off with you, lawyer. I'm doing so because I feel that this wasn't something a lot of people had expected. Even though Manasseh, as at the 20th of December, maybe predicted, but actually spoke on this issue and it said that after 14th February, Ken Ofori-Atta would be in very serious problems with his visa in the U.S. We're still in January and this is happening. I'm sure you didn't expect this to happen last night.
Good morning. Again, good morning to our viewers. I've been saying, even on this platform, that Ken should have just come. Ken should have just come. Look, at the time the brouhaha was going on, that he should come, he should come, he should come. If he had come then, by now, things would have at least balanced out. At least we would have heard his side of the story. We would have sat around this table and discussed it. Public opinion, government, we all have been discussing it. By now, it would have watered down a bit. And if you remember, I said on this platform, I don't want to see a former finance minister at Kotoka, brought back from America, Kotoka in handcuffs. I don't want to see that. I do not want to see that.
It's most likely going to happen from where we are right now.
Where are we now?
Deportation, possibly.
Where is he now?
In detention.
In detention. What happens to those who are deported from countries that they have overstayed? What happens? It's just that in Ghana, we don't tend to take it serious, but normally you would come with an immigration officer and they would hand you over to the Ghanaian authorities. Is that what would happen if it so happens that his application for status is revoked? Is that what will happen? So you should have just bit the bullet, just come. If you know you have a case and you know you can defend your case, and you have lawyers here who know your case, come and defend it. Because right now, whatever the case is, whether he comes or he doesn't come, they can hold him in abstention, can't they? And if in the end you're found guilty, does that mean you never come back to Ghana? Is that what it means? That you'd never see your family? Come. Whatever the case is, come and defend yourself. And if it so happens that you come and you are found guilty, serve your time. My own cousin, Kwame Pepra, did not serve his time. Is he not out?
Yeah.
Is he not in politics still? What is it?
Maybe on the medical grounds, he wanted to get fully recovered before eventually he comes into the country, because I mean, we all don't know what was going to happen if he's in the country right now. Based on how the judgment go, he may still have to serve his term. But if he's not fit enough to serve that term, then what becomes of him?
Where is ICE? Where has ICE put him? Medical grounds or no medical grounds? When they went to arrest him, did he indicate to them that I'm not well? Did he show them any documentation to prove that he was not well, so they can't arrest him? They arrested him.
Yeah.
He's in a facility, isn't he? Whether well or unwell. You see, there's a key saying, maybe my brother who about adia yaudiano jininteme bwana.
So to be on now
jininteme. We started before Anka by now. Yakasa hwa yakokota ama arguments no has started yeko yetiase, but not so. It would be a shame. Remember, he's innocent until proven guilty. It would be a shame to see Ken Ofori-Atta walk into this country in handcuffs. It would be a shame.
Do you think his lawyers did not really do him some good? I mean, we've had the lawyers come out, they speak every time this issue comes up, the family comes up, and they also say their own thing. You think that where he's gotten to right now, they could have done him a lot of good by advising him or maybe asking him to come to Ghana?
If I were his lawyer, that's what I would say to him. We would look at the evidence. We would look at his statement of claim. We would look at every little thing. And as a lawyer, you try to find out how you can defend your client. What case law you use, what statute you use, what they've been used to charge you, or the possible. In fact, the OSP has already given us a list of charges. What will work, what won't work. And then we say, come, let's defend you. Simple. Can he afford it? Yes, he can afford it. Living in America is not cheap. He can afford it. So for me, I think at this point, even if his status is regularized, he should come. Let's face the bullet and let's get it over and done with once and for all. Look, gradually, every day we are heading for 2028 election. Every day we are heading towards 2028 election. We don't want Ken Ofori-Atta's situation to hamper anything with regards to the MPP's standing in that election. And what do I mean by that?
They have the potential to do so.
What do I mean by that? Oh yeah, people would talk about it. Look, the court of public opinion is very strong in Ghana. Very, very strong in Ghana. Very, very strong. And based on that public opinion, sometimes they vote in a certain way. So, for me, I would hope that the MPP party, the elders in the MPP party, at this point, should advise him to come down. Let's have this out once and for all. If for nothing at all, the cathedral. If for nothing at all. If for nothing at all. If he's not coming to answer anything, and the cathedral alone, he can tell Ghanaians the history of all the monies that went in, how it went in, who was involved in it, the architect, how much was paid, all the things regarding, because you have money, locked in a hole where we were promised a particular infrastructure and we've seen nothing of that infrastructure in place. So if for nothing at all, that alone, come and clear your name once and for all. If it so happens that his status is revoked or his status is not, if his status is revoked, definitely he will come.
Yeah.
But if it's not revoked, he should change his mind. We're in a new year. Come, face the music, and let's move on.
Okay, very well. Thank you very much, Lawyer Kwame Jantua. Let me move on to Honorable Henry. Honorable.
Yeah. Yeah, good morning to my colleagues and then to our cherished viewers once again. We know we are in a new year and we have two former presidents, President Yaw Kwakye and Nana Addo Akufo-Addo. It is important that as we remind ourselves of what God has done for us.
Absolutely.
We must also as well tell ourselves that we find ourselves where we are because God has been good with us as Ghanaians. And our fledgling democracy is growing day in and day out. So the certain president also happens to be a former president. You know that?
Yep.
Yeah, and we have only one former vice president also in the system, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Yeah. So my prayer is that we continue to live as a people, one another. We have a common destiny to develop our country for future generations. Yes, on Honorable Ken Ofori-Atta's issue, clearly it is an individual issue. He's been charged with committing crime. And just as Mr. Jantua said, he's presumed to be innocent until when proven to be guilty at a competent court of law. Whether he's coming to Ghana to face the court or not, that's an issue with him. It's for him. I just learned of his being arrested by the ICE in the United States. I don't know the full story as at yet. I'll get to know and then read more about it. But again, he's being represented by lawyers, so I want to just wait and see what happens. We've been told that that's immigration issues, or it has to do with the status as an immigrant or whatever, a visitor or whatever. So I wouldn't want to go into details. He's not on trial there for crime committed. We are not being told so. Is it not the case? So I'll pause and then learn more about it.
But do you also agree with Honorable Lawyer Jantua that he probably should just come back? Let's go through this process once and for all. And
well, I refuse to comment on that because he's a lawyer, and I don't know whether he's advising him as a lawyer.
Well, if he were his lawyer, he would have done so.
Well, so unfortunately and unfortunately, he's not a lawyer, so he can keep his advice and allow his.
It's just a suggestion.
Well, so at this point, you can keep your suggestion, or you can forward it to wherever.
That's my point of view.
I agree. That's your opinion. That's what I'm saying. It's your opinion, and I respect that.
You don't want to comment on it. I have commented on it, so you can't tell me to keep my suggestion.
No,
it's my suggestion.
No, but you see, your suggestion is to somebody else.
Yeah.
You want to profile that kind of suggestion. It may be a good suggestion, but until then, until you're able to pass it on to him and he accepts it or not, you will still have to keep it. It's yours. And so it belongs to you. So I will urge his counsels to do whatever they think within the ambience of the law to be able to resolve the issue as quick as possible as they promised. However, we still have to wait and see.
Okay. All right.
Well, his counsel has put a long statement out, so if you read it, at least you get to know.
I haven't read it. You have the privilege of.
So portions were the ones that I actually read from the news report.
So I'll go and read it by myself and get my own understanding.
I can send it to you.
And then tease out. Do so. I'll read it at 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Yeah, when I have gotten out of office. Anyway, signing off, going off. I have a brother who has lost a son very painfully.
Sorry.
On the 25th of December. You know, I'm in black.
Sorry.
I thought we were going
I was
to
wondering why you were.
Yeah.
Some people love to wear black. For example, myself, I love to wear black. I mean, it doesn't have to be the occasion, and that's why maybe my mind.
Yes, I agree. But
we're sorry.
When it's black, and the eyes are red.
That's where you know there's a problem, yes.
You know the former Director for Finance for Parliament, Mr. Amponsa?
Yeah.
You remember him?
Yeah.
He's on retirement. He lost his first son. Yes, on the 25th of December. And we happen to be brothers in Bantama. You know, he's a citizen of Bantama. And the family are in hot water.
Yeah, this is
so 17th coming, 1 week's observance celebration at Tesano, their residence. So I'm just from there. I'll be going there from here.
Okay.
That's right.
Our sincere condolences to him and the entire family as well. Losing a dear one, it's very difficult, and we pray that the good Lord comforts all of you. And anyway, so on your screens we've put some of the images of the detention facility that we're able to retrieve, and so for the purposes of our viewers out there, just so you know why those images are there. So that's the detention facility in Virginia that has been detained. Now, let me get you, Honorable. What's your take on that?
Thank you very much. And once again, let me bring greetings to my constituents and all those watching us. One particular man has asked me to greet him, Mr. Mo from Nkaka.
Nkaka?
Yes, Nkaka, Mr. Mo. I bring you moments of greetings. I believe that this man, Ken Ofori-Atta, surreptitiously left the country for sojourn in the U.S. and when the new government came into power. I believe that he knew what was in store for him. Yes, because we cannot run away from the fact that he caused this nation a lot of harm, and therefore he sought refuge in another man's country. Much as we have tried to bring him down to face the law, he blatantly refused to come and tried to hide himself under the laws of the U.S. Fortunately or unfortunately, the law has caught up with him, and now we believe that the axe forgets, but the tree remembers. The axe has forgotten, but the tree remembers. So Mr. Ofori-Atta, once upon a time, he was the Almighty in the country, and when he showed where he's been kept is so pathetic. And even if nothing happens to him at all, he's had his punishment.
Ghanaians perceived that he was the Almighty, or it is something that he exceeded?
Well, we all saw what he carried. When even his own party men, the parliamentarians gathered themselves and pleaded with the president to remove him from power because they saw the harm that was perpetrated on the nation, and they felt that it was going to harm their party. And still, he was kept in power for another 1 year, getting close to this thing, then he was removed. So you could see that he was the Almighty. And anytime he was in Parliament, he quoted these Bible quotations and all that. And he was untouchable because we all knew what he was doing, and sometimes it was just pathetic. And now we pray that in the U.S., you can't run away. The Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency has gotten hold of him. I believe he's got millions where he has been able to engage all these lawyers, the best of lawyers, I think 17 lawyers or so. I mean, so all his money is going to, by all means, one day, he'll become a pauper. Yeah, because to engage 17 lawyers in the U.S., I mean, daily, they are going to check daily. And given within 5 years, all his money will go. So I think sometime we must try to earn our monies in the right way. Otherwise, sometimes we all say that a good name is better than riches. And we are praying that if even he doesn't come, the U.S. immigration will have to get him over there. And as he said, he will be in chains, and we brought back Ghana. If you have been on a plane on several occasions, you see those being repatriated from the U.S. Yeah, some crying, weeping, and the way they handle them is just pathetic. They will be handcuffed, some will be in chains on their legs, and they just parade them and bring them back. And if this man is brought back in that way, and even if he doesn't go to jail in this country, I mean, that is enough punishment for him. And if you saw the place you go to sleep for the night, I mean, even his dog will not sleep on a bed like that. So sometimes whenever we are doing something, we must remember that karma is there for us.
Does it look like an answered prayer for Ghanaians? Is that what we're seeing?
Of course. I believe that Ghanaians have been praying for this new year. I think many people just heaped prayers on him to make sure that he gets his punishment. And there's no doubt about it at all. He has caused a lot of harm to the country, even though he's still in court. The lawyers will say that, until proven guilty. But we, the laymen, I'm a common engineer. Engineers, we don't mince words at all. And we believe that he's caused a lot of harm to the country. Otherwise, why is he running away from his birthplace? Yes, he's been here all the time. He has businesses around. And just after you lost election, you just, as I said, surreptitiously, left the country and you've refused to come. So I believe that he himself knows that he's guilty. And instead of coming to face the law, he wanted to take surgeon over there. And so it's an answered prayer for Ghanaians. Answered prayer, Lord. And we pray that he comes back to face the law. And I pray that when he's coming, he will be in chains. Yes, he will be in chains. To serve as an example for the others. See, I say from others, we have to learn lessons. Lessons from what people face, the troubles that people face. Say from the experience of others, cautious men learn wisdom. So if he comes in that situation, others, especially people in power now, will also be cautious. Then slowly we try to refine our system. We try to refine our community. Because it's now, at some stage, it was just nice to flaunt your riches. Use big cars, now the trend is to throw monies away. People throw monies away. I mean, where can you do that in the United States? You'll be questioned where you got that money. But here now it's becoming the norm. So if people see him in chains like this, those especially in power now also know that one day, if while their government is power, if they will be protected, even though President Mahama has said that he's not going to do that, he has always been warning his ministers, I think during cabinet meetings, that if you misbehave, he will make you face the law. Yes, but sometimes someone will slip through, and when the next government comes, they will also fish you out. So if we do this, others, we will learn lessons from some of these things, and then slowly refine our society, so that if you are put in power, you make sure that you work for the good. I mean, if you work for the good of the country, and the country becomes rich, and you are a minister, you will never be poor. Yes, in America, everybody has got a house. If you can get a car, I mean, so far as you are working, you cannot differentiate between the rich and the poor. So if we all work for the country to be on a good pedestal, everybody is going to enjoy. Unlike the situation now where somebody amasses wealth, billions of dollars, what are you going to do with it? Now this man, I know that he's worth billions of dollars, yes, billions. But believe me, I'm better off than him.
Anyway,
KMJ, I find it a bit difficult with regards to the commentary of my brother. Look, this is a legal matter. It's a legal matter. And there could be mitigating factors. It could draw other people in. So far as the case has not been to court, we should be very careful how we comment. The court of public opinion can create a certain scenario that you get into court is totally different. So let's be very mindful of our commentary, especially on platforms like this.
So we don't pass judgment already.
We don't pass judgment. Look, it is not because of anything that in the law we indicate that everybody is innocent until proven guilty. So you might think or you might feel, yes, the man has chopped money. Have you seen the evidence? Yes, we have seen what the OSP has said. It's his case against his. And it is up to the prosecution to prove criminality. Up to the prosecution.
And until that is done?
Until that is done, let's be mindful. Because as he rightly said, today is Ken Ofori-Atta, tomorrow it can be you. So let's be mindful with our public commentary and let him come. Let the courts take the case up and we'll all be here to see. If the courts come, and I know Ghanaians would want Ken Ofori-Atta's case to be televised, if possible. If possible. But whatever the case, we have a very vibrant media in this country. And you think you can hide, they'll fish you out. The media alone will fish you out. And so whether it's televised or it's not televised, we will get to know the ins and outs of the case. We'll get to know how the lawyers perform. We'll get to know how the judge handles the case. So let's tamper our, what you call it, law. Let him come. I want him to come. I want to come because you see, it has huge reflection on President Akufo-Addo. Huge reflection. It was his finance minister. And it is expected that the president knows exactly what the finance minister is doing and how he's handling the ministry, because he has to sit with him and discuss the finances of this country. And especially on the cathedral wasn't in the MPP's manifesto. The cathedral was told us that the president had a promise, wanted to promise God for making him win the election. It had nothing to do with the MPP manifesto. So it pulls others in. So let's calm down and let's hope Ken Ofori-Atta will see it fit to come.
Okay, we're going to move on to our next conversation, but before
okay, let me have a bite on that. I think now I agree with counsel, my colleague counsel, because that is the trajectory of justice delivery. Of course, I can pardon the engineer. He calls himself an engineer, and he doesn't want to be associated with that. He wants to deal with a court of public opinion. And that also is also not fair sometimes. Or he just said that we must be circumspect in how we comment on these, because the law is clear. The accused is presumed to be innocent until proven guilty by the court of competent jurisdiction. Yes, I believe in accountability. I believe in that when you are given responsibility in the public space to serve, I mean, at the end of the day, you must be able to account for your stewardship. I go with that, no doubt. We are dealing with a situation where the accused or the culprit says A, B, C, D, and the lawyers are battling with both the legal system within the country. My prayer is that we get to a point where even if he's standing a trial, we will be circumspect in by way of judgment. I mean, prejudging the case so that it can take its focus, because the law also guarantees us a fair trial in all manners. So this one there, I agree with you. And I go with you.
Okay, can I also defend myself?
And it is good. His earlier suggestion here, you seem to have withdrawn.
is that what it is? I'm sure maybe it's a top up to what.
I think I've brought this controversy about. I just said initially that I'm not a lawyer, so I'm just speaking for the voiceless.
Oh, but you are lucky. You are with lawyers.
Two lawyers. So the two lawyers will take their way, and I want to go by the way the public thinks. Yeah, because the law also is not always right. Yes, we see. The law also is not right. Sometimes you could see clearly this person has maybe done this, and the law will generate the person.
So, I think that's what Yaw Kwakye Ackah mentioned as well, that you may be thinking that this person is definitely going to jail, but when it gets to the law courts, things are
so let me also express the views of the ordinary people who were in the country whilst this man was all that he surveys. He was all that he surveyed. And people know what happened. We know. I was a member of parliament at that time. And you could see Public Accounts Committee were there and things were happening. many things happened, but no actions were taken. And here I will comment that sometimes Public Accounts Committee, some people come and their work is exemplary. And we must commend those people. And those who do the wrong thing must be punished. So if you had been doing this, maybe Ken Ofori-Atta wouldn't have ended up like this. Because things were piling up anytime we were in public accounts. My good friend was an EP. I think I may commend him because the Public Accounts Committee excelled and did very well. So please permit me to just digress a little bit from the normal until proven guilty. You are in the court of law, you are not guilty.
But that is where our viewers will say you are doing propaganda.
Lawyer, before we go, we're going to move on to the next topic. But before we go, what do you think will be the position of the OSP right now? What are we supposed to be doing now? The OSP.
Nothing.
We'll be wanting him to come back.
Nothing.
Now he's been detained.
Nothing.
We can't still push
the
this.
OSP has already made his case. The Attorney General has also made his case. They're going to hear the case in America. This is just a side issue. If it so happens,
we can't use that to say that we've been wanting this man home based on his detention. Can the American embassy assist us in making the Americans
does ICE have anything to do with the case?
Well, not necessarily, but
it's in the hands of ICE.
Yep.
It's an ICE case. It's not a Ghana case. So you are saying that we should go through the back door and tell ICE that we want the man to bring him back?
We've already reported that.
Yes, we've already reported, but I'm saying this is an immigration. I said this is an immigration issue.
Okay.
It's got nothing to do with the case. It's an immigration issue where he's overstayed. Period.
Okay.
Period. They would not transfer him because of the case.
Oh.
They'll transfer him because it's an immigration issue, and if he's infringed on that, then they'll bring him back. But he says he has an application for his status. Yes, pending one for his status. They'll look at all that and then see, will it influence those who are going to decide on his case? Will it influence it? Will they probably look at this case in Ghana and influence it in such a way that they give him an extension? Or it will be strictly on immigration basis? We are not there, we don't know. So let's see what the outcome will be.
Okay, very well. Thank you very much. Let me move on to the next conversation. We're looking at 1 year of His Excellency John Dramani Mahamat's time in office. Yesterday was Constitution Day. A lot happened. They had a Thanksgiving service and all that. But the question again, a lot of people will be asking is, inflation is doing pretty well. It's a single digit and all that. But beyond that, are the people feeling it? We went to town to ask a few questions with regards to, the 1 year that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has been in the office. And these are some of the things that a lot of people had to say. Let's take that when we come back. We'll get into the conversation.
Fantastic. To me, semi rating 1 year, actually, say out of 100%, and come man be 80%. What boy Juma Papa no Crane, you try any career chia, Sabi, when you say politics, but I be a criminal. Only economic team will be our board in what a solid economic team. Niomo Baye, ya me as a businessman, na ene no. Nia yura to force and to me abaye, Amadol National man, me and me business, Kokwaso, a crane, my banady. Me say Yura Mahamas, what was to say yadia. And ye, Sabia Brucebi and Yado, Kamiaka Sakura made demonstration, so Uncle Tete.
Okay. So initial comments. I'm taking initial comments from all of them, and then Ojas here says he's given the president an 80% rating because he believes the economy is now improved. Right? He says in the previous governments there was a whole economic team, and he didn't see much as a businessman. But with what Yaw Kwakye Ackah Honorable is doing currently, making him see the business move smoothly, and so he's giving the Mahama administration 80%. Wafa, tell us your rating.
Oh, John dear, a man who couldn't me. Joe Boyduma. John or Boyduma. Sagana for the kind of crap, dear. John Boyduma. John or Boyduma.
Money percentage says an just.
Oh, Nana. Now, make me like I said, John said, on go so. On your no. Now, a month for that Cafan who be ano, Maninti, on your no, you Jumano. Yanko Possibility.
Our Uncle Kofi here says the Mahama-led administration is performing exceptionally well.
Yeah, Omoba Memoni, who the echo, Dolano, Ejina Amaye, enti me de meka say waya ade e ho na ade ba ko pe na me say e tema say dollar na gina no market no so slow down ba me de mani to fuma me say government workers ni bo ma na omu pay ni mantem I say
change is good. I'm happy about the city's stability.
Now the on Tom Mini, I'm a home. It may say, or Monto no man as a month, you do our government workers in the car, and them, no much metadians from my because go the Pahua or Ginny. Han or how Kakrabia, a one DC government who to see a Kakra, or more than say, wait me, I eat our hand through.
It's a Ken and I say,
he says a man percentage, they are made a man 99%. Why are you?
So far, no say Senator O'Shea and Bono. Out of 120 ministers, O'Shea Bosse Obekati, Ampa, what you mean, Akati, who say, or the 60, and I Ebu Namamwe. And the whole nature say, why or see a dear on your Kayano, where this so pepe. Though anybody won't mean 100%. Aka and your mark a crack 1 or 2.
To
say almost share homeboy, we say a renenim, send our mashabo, a crack Kumasi Express Highway. No, your best friend will boon need you counsel. Ye renenim so obey my and a dad and so no, and a name or damn crook with Monsono, or ye win ma unyanto because of my man on accident, a queen dodo, your best repeat, and also no one for my name cohon now or monche and your mind.
Baby, I yet in the quaning yet. Dansuma, Yakwanye. And I say, Kasua, so, Kasua, traffic. What I say, traffic, I'm your ding. I'm a fool.
We really need him to work on our roads and transport system for us.
Traffic. And he said, then obey. Your best run on your being found. On your being found, pious run a pa.
A dear Bacope, a year 24 hours economy now or boss, no. Often an image about so kind. Because one will be free Kumase back and shout the car and shout timber say.
I want to see the 24-hour economy policy in full force so that I can hire more workers.
I read some 24-hour economy. No man is campaigning to improve more workers. Oh, we knew. And I'm a dear Baconsa, I can find say, yes, sir. Kumasi Road, Kuni Parodo, her castle, Cape Coast, which me more than 3 hours or so, or more than a contractor for Intimina Jumano, now any move.
I wanted to rate the ministers as well. Which Minister Ben Asisi and Ejuma so any pa?
Well, media, Marco, businessman, ministers and the Okase me move about the any out forcing.
My favorite minister right now is Ato Forsen. He's doing very well. I also like Ato Forsen.
Ato Forsen.
I'm a target because mommy last year like 20 with almost 3.something until when you compact.
I like Sam George for the reduction in DSTV subscription.
All right, so in the heart of Accra, somewhere in Abosokai, that's where we got all those information from. And so, yes, somebody said 99%, and we're asking what is he doing with the 1% anyway. But that's what the people are saying. Let me start with Honorable Henry. Honorable, do you agree? We have, okay, so a bit later I'll be walking us through some of the things that we've seen in terms of prices that have changed. But it's on your screens right now, so you can take a look at it. But Honorable Henry, 1 year after Mohammed's, swearing in, a lot of things have changed?
Well, yes, things have changed for better and for worse. Yes, you may think about those that have changed for better, but people are not really in haste to talk about what has changed for worse. But maybe that's my responsibility to do that. I've heard those who were in. I wish they had gone to Amakru, Memredane, Tepa district, where a Jabam the cuckoo farmer, and then ask him also. I mean, it's also
that's fair.
It's affected, yes, by all that. I wish they had gone to the nurses, the trained nurses who have been working for 12 months and they've been paid only 1 month. And teachers, I wish they had gone to them also, because they are also Ghanaians. They are being affected by what's happening. But by and large, and by convention, this country has the penchant of giving any new government at least 1 year moratorium, what we call goodwill. It will be very interesting to compare this time period to that of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's 1 year in office. We have been doing ourselves quite a bit service. What was said, what was the euphoria, what was the state of the economy, and how people felt that time. It will just be fair. People are looking at what happened in 2024, what happened in 2023, and they are comparing situations today, which, well, that is their own. But my prayer, whatever good things we are seeing as a people in our lives at this point in time, 1 year in office of a new government, is that we do not go into a situation going forward to meet any calamity. That's my prayer. I am praying so hard that there shouldn't be any external forces or situations where it will affect Ghana, to affect the whole world, and Ghana will be a victim. Because we saw it. We saw 2017, when Akufo-Addo's government was ushered into office. In the year, the ensuing year, we saw what happened, the growth rate of the economy, how people felt, and the rate of inflation and all those figures. We saw 2019, up to 2019, until we got to 2020 when COVID struck the whole world. And then all the gains vanished. My prayer is that we've started, if you think you're on a good mood, let us continuously pray. So look at what's happening in Venezuela. Venezuela may have been having sound note, everything and all that. One day they got up and their president is not there. It's been adapted. The accusation is that the whole country is dealing in narcotics and terrorism. The ordinary citizens might have not called for that. But here is a case. Don't you think it's going to affect them? It's happening, both economically.
Well, the U.S. says that they're going to take over the oil and ensure that it goes to the benefit of the people, even much better than what Nicholas was doing.
And you believe that? I don't. I don't. Because, so you see, what I'm trying to say, it's going to cause serious national
external interruptions of such nature affects the economy. That's what you basically
It affects the economy, it affects the national security architecture, it affects people's mode of living, a whole kind of distortions. So I am saying that as much as we trying hard to put ourselves on a good pedestal, and for 1 year, the government have enjoyed the goodwill of the people, and that we are praising, or we think we are doing well. We should also be mindful that the possibility of an external shock may come in and then erode everything. What has happened with the cost of electricity and water in the system? What happened with workers' salary? How much have been given to the workers? If the inflation is that low, if all the economy is, moving on the
best since 2021, the lowest since 2021.
Yes, and the highest electricity bill since we know, the highest water bills, utility bills that the ordinary worker is faced with, the lowest salary increment to the worker. So if we are doing so well, why is it not reflecting in the pockets of...
Is this not reflective enough? These are top 20 items that recorded fall in prices as in December 2025. If you look at the percentages over here, is it not, these are commodities. I think it's not good enough in terms of what we wanted to see as a people.
I told you there are positives and negatives. As you highlighting the positives, I am trying to bring to the fore the negatives. And don't you think it's important for the ordinary citizen when it comes to tariff?
Fuel prices are down.
And then you are paying. And you are paying. You are paying every liter. You are paying how much to the government?
And in terms of what is added to
so taxation, the quantum and the number of taxation that have been heaped on the people of Ghana, don't you think is biting? And now they are telling you that the markets are slow, even though the price can be purple can be 1 cedi. But can you afford it? That's another question to ask. So after all, the inflation and the economy reflects in the ordinary person's pocket. The cocoa farmer was promised 6,000 cedis per bag and ended up still receiving 3,120. Do you think the cocoa farmer is happy? The answer is no. Now, parents are crying because their awards in school, they are being asked to pay A, B, C, D. Charges are being heaped on them, whether legally or whatever. And they are crying. I saw one NDC MP complaining bitterly about school placement and how parents are suffering, how they are being ripped off. That one doesn't need to be addressed. So how does the inflation, the lower inflation and all others reflect in the lives of the ordinary Ghanaian? That's the core. That is what we should be looking at. And then also, all that we are seeing, are there pragmatic, time-tested economic policies that have been put in place that are doing the magic? Are they sustainable? Or we are doing the usual shortcuts where we will be quick enough to pump in our reserves in order to show the city, the strength of the city, without any fundamental structural changes in the economic.
You don't see that?
We have not been told.
Is that what you did?
All that we are told, or you've been told, is that there is an intermediary, or what do they call intervention or intermediary, whatever, by Bank of Ghana. Yes, and to the tune of $10 billion last year, 1 year alone. So in order to reach all that where we are, where the food prices are down, inflation is down, and then also people are touting economic stability, the president himself touting. It has cost the average Ghanaian $10 billion to reach where we are. That is what we are being told. So how sustainable it is? Are we prepared to pump in 10 billion cedis annually in order to get to this level?
If there are ways of you generating that back to ensure that the people are able to still, sustain themselves in that, why not? Because the way to been able to do that for a year.
And the way to generate is more as a genocide kind of thing. Eco-genocide. You are producing gold. You are there. You are producing gold and selling the gold. And the revenue you are using to do all this economic magic. So what it means that you have to continuously produce gold. And we've been told in this country that illegal mining is a devastating situation.
Now, what about this?
Yes, now international, I have to draw the attention of EP, Environmental Protection Authority. The ICC has now made environmental crime part of within their jurisdiction to try. It caused deforestation, oil gas flaring, this illegal mining activity. So now we are reaping the benefits, lower inflation rates, lower prices of goods and services. Agreed. At what cost? At the cost of $10 billion a year. And the $10 billion, where did they come from? The sale of gold. And how did we come by the gold? Illegal mining activities, destroying our water bodies. Go to the mining communities. Galamsey has escalated over the year. And what were we told? What were we promised? We were told that this government will come into office and they will stop Galamsey and make sure that mining is done responsibly in this country. Is that within that 1 year? Is it a positive sign? So we must be seriously thinking through the lines. What we are experiencing, is it sustainable? If yes, how are we going to be able to support the whole thing? If it is not, then we must be thinking, the CSOs, I'm not hearing from them. I'm not hearing from the intelligentsia. I'm not hearing from key stakeholders in our economy. That when we all know that you shore up your export, value addition to your raw materials, and you shore up your export, and you earn more foreign currency into the system, whilst you take steps to lower importation, so the pressure on getting dollars to go and import will also be low. That is where you can say pragmatic economic policies are working, but not the lazy man's approach where you sit by, you just go and pump in your reserves and then shore up the city. And you know, I'm not trying to be prophet of doom, but I can foresee a huge economic crisis arising in the future ahead of us, where the panacea may be to depreciate our currency. A time will come, we'll be told, that our currency is so strong that it cannot support the export drive, the manufacturing, the value addition, the diversification of our economy through processing of our raw materials, creating jobs. The currency is so strong enough, so strong that it cannot support such policies. So the panacea, the best way to go is to depreciate. Do you know depreciation is also an economic tool? Yes, we will get there.
Okay, we'll get there. Thank you very much, Honorable Henry. Let me have your thoughts.
Yes.
I'll take Lawyer Dan to us when you're done.
I would spend a little bit of time to...
not to catch you, but please send your messages to us. We'll be reading them our prime time and then read your messages. Once again, let me apologize for yesterday. We were not able to read your messages, but I'll do so today. So please keep them coming in.
Honorable Kokofu had a lot of time, so I wish I could also have the same...
No, but that was 8 minutes. Yeah, so you also have 8 minutes to do so. And then lawyer will also have the same.
He spoke about cocoa farmers, that we should go. The interview we had was indicative of what is happening in the country. So yesterday, the president and the NDC had our first year anniversary. So I wish them a happy anniversary. I wish the president and the NDC and the whole country a happy anniversary. It was a grand. Unfortunately, I was in the studio, so I couldn't attend. But he was talking about the cocoa farmers. I mean, I wonder if he comes from the cocoa area.
I'm a farmer myself.
If you are a farmer yourself, about a year ago, farmers could not even get money for their produce. You send your cocoa to the officer, and he will ask you to go. Then maybe a week you call my brother.
I was paid.
My brother, you had connections. You were in the government, so you would. But the ordinary, you say we should go and ask the ordinary farmer.
Yes.
If you go and ask the ordinary farmer in my area, cocoa farmers were not being paid for their produce. It was clear. You, the pressman, you know what was happening. Everything collapsed, and so these nurses you are talking about, when were they employed? Some of them were employed during the NPP's time. They were not paid.
One month arrears. And that was when you were coming into office.
Let me please.
I'm helping you.
No, don't help me.
You don't seem to have the full fact.
No, I have.
The nurses were employed December 2024.
Honorable Henry, I'll come to you when it's done. So you can jot it down when it's done. Then
some of them were employed 8 months, even before the NDC came. And so we were asking, why now? Why are they complaining now that they were in employment for 8 months, they were not paid, and NDC came to power within 3-4 months, they started complaining. But we inherited the assets and liabilities also. So he should not use this one. And he's saying that we should compare Nanado's 1 year to Mohammed's 1 year. I mean, we were all in this country. The 1 year, they were full of scandals. Yes. And the good thing is that within this 1 year, that's the most important thing. There has not been any major scandal. It means the country is moving in the right direction, because these scandals are the main causes of our wars. Because corruption and scandals by people in high places. But you haven't heard, in their first year, you could mention cash for seats in the Flagstaff House there. A merry deal, bus scandal, Ghana Post GPS, premise fuel, data forces taking control of all government houses. So these are things that have changed. So you see, you cannot compare this finance minister. Something has changed. You cannot compare him with this Ofori-Atta, who had changed this one. Our insurance company. He had his own insurance company where he made SNITs redundant. All government agencies were insuring their systems with their company. And he was only interested in going for loans so that his company would take their cut, the percentage. Has that happened this time? So this was a regime which was just interested in taking loans, and they had to even throw a party, Kenke party, that he had been able to oversubscribe the bond. I mean, that was what was happening. So things have changed. And he was talking about this, we are shoring up the CD, supporting the CD.
How to sustain it moving forward.
No, he said we use $10 billion.
And he's asking if it's sustainable.
But the $10 billion, was it borrowed? It was not borrowed. It was from our resources. And still our reserves, the reserves have increased.
So that's enough to sustain us moving forward.
Even spending all this one, assuming it is true, we are spending this one. And yet, the reserves in our country's reserves in the bank has increased.
Well, we left 30 metric tons. The previous government left 30 metric tons of gold reserves. You have added only 1 metric ton. I mean, in fact, the fact must be delayed.
But you were there. You had your chance.
Yes, of course, but I'll not allow you to jump into the atmosphere with non-facts.
When I finish, you can have your chance. Please, let the public judge what I'm saying, whether it's the truth or not. Because now you left a 3.5 month reserves. Now we have 5 months. That means you have gone ahead. And yet we have been able to use 10 billion. So where did this money come from? We didn't use the reserves. If you're saying that we are using reserves and if we have depleted the reserves, then you have a case. But the reserves have increased. So we are doing something right. Initially, you said the CD was a hoax. It was just the stability was temporary. It was going to, and it has been sustained for 1 year. Now they are trying to find fault with the gold board. Because gold board now, they couldn't do anything. Now they have to just destroy the image of Sabi Javi, that intelligent a young guy who is going to be the president one day, and they are scared. So they have to begin to destroy him. But it won't wash. Look at what he has done. So my brother, for this 1 year, the citizens rightly said, one said 99%, one said 80%. I have been saying this on all the media platforms that I'll give Mahama 75%. That is distinction. Okay. In our days, O level, if you had 75%, you had a distinction, which I also had a privilege of having distinction in the O level. So 75%, but the whole party.
That was your time.
Our time, okay. Yeah. 75%, you were shocked.
Now you should be doing around 80.
Now 80.
For that, yeah.
Yeah, so I give the whole government 80%.
80%, okay.
And then he 75%. But the gains are there for everybody to see. As I said, no scandals, nothing. And you could see the policy rate has come down. If policy rate comes down, it means something is going on, something good is going on.
They used to have interest to tackle, and people still want it to be down. Interest
rate.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Interest rate has gone down. Is the policy rate.
But people still believe that we can do better.
Exactly. But you can't take 1 year to do what has been destroyed for 8 years. No. So far it's coming down positive. Inflation has dropped. From their time, it went to 54%, where we had hyperinflation. There was galloping of prices, and everybody was scared. And now inflation has come down to I think 5 points. This December is at
5.4. But still people complain that they don't feel it. Maybe a section, but
you're indicative of the prices you have put there. Indicative. It means the prices have come down from 5.3 to from 50-something% to 5.3. Is it not? It's incredible. You can't believe it. So something is happening. Public debt also had dropped. Exchange rate.
By a million margin.
Okay, by a million. Even by a centimeter is something. It was going up. It was going up. Just galloping. Now it has come down. The CD dollar exchange rate from whooping 17 cedis to the dollar. Now it's hovering between 10 and 11. It's surprising. I mean, these are the gains. And as I will always quote this, Baumia, he said you can do all the propaganda you want, but if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. So now what can he say? The exchange rate is not exposing us, and the fundamentals are all showing positive. Yes, prices are down, fuel prices are down. That's an indication of the living standard of the people. If the prices of fuel rises, that means that the price of other goods also will rise. Treasury bill rate has gone down. These are some of the fundamentals that this man was talking about. Household expenditure has also increased. Debt to GDP ratio. At one time, we were hovering about 90% debt to GDP. Yes, to explain it, the amount of money we have to spend on paying our debt was about 90% of all the aggregation of the earnings of the country. So there was no space at all to do other development. Now it has dropped. Debt to GDP ratio has dropped significantly to about 45%. So it means even after paying our debt, which they suspended for a very good reason, haircut and all, people were dying. And now the debt to GDP has dropped. And so now in this second term, the government is going to have enough money to start to push this big push. And that is going to create jobs and all that. Gold and cocoa exports have also increased. We have trade surplus for a very short trade surplus from 16.5 billion to 20.9 billion, which is a 35% increase. Investor confidence. Investor confidence has come into the system. Because if your CD is shaky, investors are scared. But now they have watched for over 1 year, and the CD is maintained, listen. And as I said, gross international reserves also has increased. So if we have even been able to spend $10 billion on shoring up the CD, and then we still have increased the international reserves. It means something is going on well.
Okay.
Recently, TOR has been revamped and working. And I read it has made profit of $21 million. Is that not positive?
Not profit, revenue.
Revenue of $21 million. So these are things that are happening in the country. All the indications are positive.
Okay.
Showing that.
And we have 3 years. 3 years to still.
3 years to go. And I believe that with this big push, something is going to happen. And if we don't have ministers behaving like the previous ones, arrogance of power, and especially the Minister of Finance, who was only interested in taking loans and put us into the black hole. If we don't have that one, this Force has not even contracted any loan whatsoever. And we are using our own resources. It has never happened before.
Okay.
So this is commendable.
Okay.
And that if we continue this way, I don't see how the country will go back. Not at all.
Okay.
If we continue this trajectory, things are going to go well.
And that's what the question mark is. How do we even ensure that we're able to continue?
No, we continue this way. We are not going to.
But you're not the minister. You are not the minister.
No, but you can see.
You can't control how the ministers behave.
No, but I can advise. I can advise the minister. I can advise the finance minister, good friend. Yes, because you see, and he was talking about taxes. Look at the number of taxes that you have removed. Up till now, I'm not able to do this e-levy. I don't send.
You're not paying, okay.
I don't pay because it was so annoying that if I'm sending money to somebody, I have to pay money.
Okay.
And I don't. Let me correct this one. He was saying that the fuel tax has been increased. I said, but who cares about that? Before, how much was a liter of fuel? How much was it? It was about 15. And now, whether tax or no tax,
you're paying less.
You're paying less, about 10 point something. So why are they bringing in the tax? To the ordinary man, they don't compute the taxes because there are so many things. I wonder even why the government brought in that tax, because you can even put it in a way nobody would even know, because the taxes are there.
That would be deceiving the ordinary guy.
No,
so I'm not sure
the taxes are there already. There are so many components.
Yeah, but they need to know why they are paying that tax, and so I'm sure that it's the reason why.
But they could have increased some of the taxes there, and by 1 cedi. But these people are using that. But whether increase or no increase, when I go to the pump, If I take it, I pay less.
Okay. All right. Let me take Lawyer John Twist's view on that.
Do the people have confidence in what has happened in this last year? It's the people who voted
the
government into power.
Yeah.
Do they have confidence at this stage as to what is happening? Confidence is 95% of the work done. And from the interviews that have been had, not only on your station, on various media stations, people seem to have confidence in what President Mahama is doing. It's a work in progress. Once upon a time, before the election, we weren't sure how this country was going to go because of the challenges that were faced by the previous government. One of it being DDEP. That affected the individual.
Took lives.
One of them was food inflation. Skyrocketed. The litmus test for me, and I would say President Mahama has done well to this point. He seems to have been able to handle all the promises he gave to the people up to this point. The litmus test for me is when we come out of the IMF and whether we will spend the way we have been spending in the past. Because once we can't control spending, then it throws everything out of gear. I don't think anybody ever thought that we would be able to descend 25% inflation, right? Right up.
Yes, 2021.
Right up to 5.1%.
5.4, yeah.
5.4%. What's America's inflation? 2 point something.
Yeah. We're not doing bad.
We're not doing bad.
In terms of the difference.
We're not doing bad. Where was the CD once upon a time? It was junk. It was the worst currency in the world. Where is it today? And I believe, as my good friend Honorable Kukufu is saying, that if the CD is so strong, it can affect certain parameters of the economy. But what's the finance minister there for? That is his job.
To regulate it.
To make
as and
sure.
when. Yeah.
To make sure. For me, I would say, and I continue to say, those areas where there is capital flight in our economy, that's the next step the president should handle. Refined petroleum products, we import capital flight. Sugar, we import capital flight. Flour, we import capital flight. Poultry, we import capital flight. Some of these areas we should be able to control and start production here. One of the major areas where there is a misconnect, inflation is down, exchange rate is down, quite a number of things are down, but it's not being felt in the pockets of Ghanaians, is the question of who handles the major areas of our economy in Ghana. Foreigners. MTN, Melcom, quite a lot of these strategic companies are in the hands of foreigners. And what happens? They make the money, they have to take it out. So one of the major areas going forward is that we need to make sure that the Ghanaian is also given the chance to be one of the mainstays of the economy. So for me, it is work in progress. So far, the government has done well. So far, we haven't heard any major scandals. If it is in the pipeline, we don't know till it comes out. But I just hope and pray that we would have, and remember, my party is in opposition, his party is in opposition, we would have an opposition that is progressive, an opposition that can give solutions when things are not going right. Because what? We are not building political parties. We are building a nation called Ghana. And if the president has been able to bring some of the pillars of the economy into a good area, then we all should try and contribute to make that building work and stand. Look, without a strong foundation of our economy, everything will fall down in the next 2-3 years. Look, we've got quite a lot of loans to pay. That was one of the areas we looked at when, at the end of the MPP tenure, we asked ourselves, loans have been taken. Where are we going to find the money to pay the loans? What has Forsen done? He's been able to raise money to pay some of the loans before the time. DDEP, people are not complaining. Food inflation, people are not complaining. There are positives, and yes, there are negatives. Let's make sure that as the negatives come on board, we are able to handle it and handle it well. We've seen samples of it in the last government. We're seeing samples of things working out in this government. Let's hope we can push it forward.
Very well. I'll try and see if we can get some of the messages from our viewers as well. And let's see what they are also saying. And we'll have our closing remarks. Let me see if I can just engage our viewers a bit, and then we'll do our closing remarks. This one is here and says, KMJ, you did not read my messages yesterday. The economic atrocities committed by Akufo-Addo by Omia government is too huge, and words alone can't describe the damage committed by Ken Ofori-Atta, either dead or alive. Ken Ofori-Atta must face the music. KMJ, LI 2462 has been repealed, but there is mining going on under the guise of licensed small-scale mining in the Meriwa Forest Reserve in the BBNE so Bekwai municipality in the Western North region. So NIMOS should take notice and take action. Good morning, Charles Champon Sefi sent in this one. Sorry about yesterday. We weren't able to read your messages. We apologize for that. Greetings to you and our panelists. The NDC is telling us that they haven't recorded any scandal for the first year. It's not true. Are they telling us that the education minister and his deputy purchasing fake sanitary pads for 45 Ghana cedis and Samij fees $214 million gold board losses are not scandals? They're potential convicts. Sir Joe Baba in Bolgatanga sent in that one. This one says, good morning, KMG. Mohammed's first year is perfect. We, the Ghanaians, are better off now and complaining less than before. The NPP would have wished otherwise, but God did. The economy would continue to be better. The humility in Mohammed's leadership is just great. Thanks, Mr. President. Jerry and Koforia sent in that. Let me go on this one. It says, so can't NPP be a bit respectful to Ghanaians? You came to office and messed the country up for 8 years. Another government comes to power and was able to fix your 8 years mess within 1 year, and you say what? Did Baumia not say when the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you? And now that the city is strong, the fundamental not strong, NPP, your jandam will not click this time around, because now we know you like our boxer pants. That's from Unmatchable Communication Officer for Kintampo North, Honorable Charles. Okay. This one over here says, good morning, KMJ. I remember in 2017, we were served a heavily plagiarized speech during inauguration. Today, we have a government working for its people. If the NPP wants to compare Nanado's tenure with that of JDM, they should know that this is JDM's second term. So the comparison should be 2021 and 2025, which are the first years of the second terms of the two. Junior question, yes, I said to him now. Okay, this one says, every first year of the new administration in Ghana since 1992 has been cool. Let us wait for the coming years. So what of the LGBTQ Galamsey Women's Bank, a 24-hour economy, introduction of 8 new taxes to replace the scrapped ones? Most annoying one is 45 Ghana cedis per a gallon of fuel. Wise man, Michael Sim sent in that this morning. Let me go to this one over here, and it says that, okay, I think I've read that. Good morning, Joy Prime. The dollar is down, the inflation is down, but now Fan Euro is 5 Ghana cedis, but we're buying it 4 Ghana cedis when the dollar is when the dollar was 17 and the inflation was around 23 or so. What is the benefit of the ordinary Ghanaian? That's from Richard in Hohoy. Okay, and this one says the NPP man should bow down. He said that's Honorable Henry. His head in shame for calling the current economic situation as a lazy man's approach. If he thinks it was such a low-hanging fruit, then why didn't they pluck it? Credit must be given when it's due. And Nana Kakari in Tachiman sent in that one. And I'm sure number one respond to that. Alaji Hamza Pip Farm says, good morning, my brother. In my humble opinion, I don't think the NPP as a political party has any moral right to be talking about the management of our economy, because they fail totally in the management of the economy of this country, and the records are there for all to see. My brother, the economic management of this country under the NPP was rated as junk economy. Junk economy simply means baller economy. But today, under the leadership of President Mahama and the NDC, the economy management has been rated as B-. Microeconomic indicators has improved. Taxes like commission, e-levy, COVID-19 levy, bed tax have all been abolished, and all this money goes into the pockets of Ghanaians. And it goes on to say other things. Today, as we speak, inflation is down to 6. Exchange rate is also down. The NPP should give us a break. We have a country to govern. All right. Good morning, KMJ. We live in a country where $10 billion didn't create jobs, but had been pumped into to shore up the city, which had an exchange rate of 14.73 to the dollar in 2024. Now 12.10, and the citizens are happy and hailing the president. How sustainable is this? The same government wrote to IMF that they have made losses to the tune of $214 million, and they came back to the people to tell us that it's false. We give them the mandate, so we give them the mandate, so we continue to believe in their lies. Ken Ofori-Atta sent in that. This one says, and it's Adi of Pig Family says, His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama is very much on course and focused on executing the reset agenda, and is paying no attention to all the ugly noise that has been made by Honorable Kokofu and his MPP. And inshallah, Mother Ghana will get to the promised land under the leadership of President John Dramani Mahama, and no amount of propaganda by Honorable Kokofu and his party will bring him down. Okay, the NEC man shouldn't lag when we're cocoa farmers been told to hold on before they were paid when they take their produce to the shed. Kofi issue under some state in Kumasi sent in that, and he's also making reference to Honorable Ackah. Anyway, Mr. Host, did you see how Kokofu was struggling to put words together? Your question was very simple, but you see how he was beating about the bush. If a script was to be marked, it would have been a total deviation. Okay. This one says, good morning, KMJ. How should anybody in his or her right sense predict doom for the country like Kokofu is doing in your studio relative to the cedi and dollar? What kind of group of people the NPP cry? Okay. Did you have to add the to it? KMJ, I have always known Honorable Kokofu to be an honest politician, but I'm disappointed these days by his reluctance to commend the government for stabilizing the economy, something the so-called economic Messiah Dr. Baumia failed to achieve. 2025 was challenging due to the weak economy President Mahama inherited, but prudent management restored stability and improved Ghana's economic ratings, laying a strong foundation for growth, better living standards, and promising 2026. Good morning. Please tell my former MP that pumping 10 billion into the economy for the citizens to survive is far better than DDEP and kill the citizens. See how he's suffering. I am TJ from Bantama. Okay. That's coming straight from Bantama. Alasa says, good morning to everyone. The detaining of the fugitive Ken Ofori-Atta by the U.S. immigration authorities is a welcoming news news, and I think he should have run away from the U.S. immigration authorities as well. Since he's good in running away from accountability, the U.S. authorities should just release him for us to come and account for Ghanaians of his stewardship. This man who has sent our economy to a junk status and caused pensioners and individuals, bond holders to visit their graves early. Regards to Honorable Joe T. of Katamaso constituency. Okay. Good morning, KMJ. I heard yesterday the president on Galamsey. It's true. We are seeing the effort being made, but can do better. I traveled on the second, and with what I saw, I need the number of the 9 months to share with them, or even go with them to see and verify for themselves. And that's from Opoku. Okay, I'll try and reach out to Pakwesi Shandoff, the PR. I'm sure he'll be able to assist us get this through. Good morning, KMJ. In fact, my prayer has been answered. Hey, Ken Ofori-Atta, you are too much. This man is international. God continue arresting the criminal. Ignatius Amwa from Bolgatanga Central. And it says, with the 1 year of this government is marvelous and fantastic. Good governance, flamboyant economy, drastic reductions of goods and services. Can you imagine inflation being single digit? God should not bring NPP back again. Ignatius Amwa sent in that one. You are the ones who bring any party back. Sometimes God is just sitting there and watching. Make your own decisions for yourself. That's just by the way. Meshach Asante says that the 1 year anniversary of President Mahama's government is so far so very good. Will not make a lot of noise about good work of this government because empty barrel makes the most noise. The good people of Ghana themselves have seen the significant transformation in their lives since President Mahama came into office. The system has been stable. There is no more fear and panic in the system. The prices of goods and services has come down dramatically, which nobody, including the MPP members, can doubt it. The leadership is all about making the system friendly so that your people can take advantage of it. And that is what we are witnessing now. Kudos to Mr. President and the team for the unprecedented performance they are exhibiting. Third term is possible. Please, let's not get there. The president has said several times that he's not going to be engaging in any of that. So let's not push it. Good morning, KMJ. Watching live from the Kwanta Oti region, my name is Masaudu Hamza Jr. Capello. In fact, Okufuado's administration is truly timely reminder of how not to govern a country, but we also expect JDM administration to do more, even though his government is trying their best. I will rate him JDM 85%. Okay, that's some ratings over there. Maybe this will be the last one for me. He says, good morning. Please ask Mr. Kokofu if previously Ghana's finance minister is hiding from Ghana and being disgraced is shameful and degrading to NPP. Oh, you really want him to answer that?
I can.
Okay. I don't know if we have more time, but I mean that would be so. Okay. All right. So let's maybe Honorable, would you want to respond to the very last one, or any of the comments, or maybe your remarks?
Well, not necessarily responding to anybody's opinion at this point, but I just want to share something. I received this one from an expert. I need not mention his name. An economic expert? It's not necessary to mention his name, but it's interesting. If you permit me,
please go ahead.
I agree with the suggestion that if we don't take advantage of the gold boom to diversify our exports away from commodity dependence, we may find ourselves trapped in the boom and best cycles of gold and other commodity prices. Did you get it?
Yeah.
So when you say this, it's not predicting doom.
And this from an expert?
This from an expert.
An economic expert?
Yeah, this from an expert. You are not predicting boom, but this is common knowledge that if you depend so much on a particular commodity or a particular produce, exportable produce, without necessarily diversifying to other sectors of the economy, particularly where we have comparative advantage in agribusiness, value addition, processing, creating jobs through manufacturing and production. You are calling in for what we call the resource, the Dutch disease.
Resource curse.
Resource curse, and then the Dutch disease. Indeed, resource curse causes violence and all that kind of conflict situations. Yeah. But with the Dutch disease, you are overemphasizing on a particular product or a particular commodity, disregarding the others. And this is exactly where we're heading towards. That's where the danger is. The gold boom, the gold is giving us all these monies, agreeable, but we do know, so do we are trying to institutionalize illegal mining as well in this country. And that is where the danger is. And again, we do so at the detriment of other sectors when we are mowing down our cocoa farms for the sake of mining, when agricultural lands are suffering to the advantage of gold mining, because we need the gold. We need more and more and more. The appetite for gold is so much so there now because the government want to maintain and sustain the situation we are in now. Nobody is denying the gains. But what we are calling for, are there any structural adjustment in the fundamentals of the economy that will be able to sustain the gains we've made so far, or we are going to be over-dependent, continuously depend on the gold production? That is where the conversation must sit.
The Honourable, the government has also mentioned a few times, or maybe a number of times, how much they want to invest in agriculture, the poultry and all of that. You think that they've not lauded that enough, and that's the reason why the concentration is on gold?
Are they touting? We are not seeing. We are seeing an upsurge of import. Poultry products import, dairy in this country has escalated. You've seen
maybe the make up for that eventually when it's able to.
But he told you that we are importing sugar, we are importing poultry, we are importing almost everything as we speak, and we are exporting nothing but gold in raw form. Are we happy? Is it the case to go? Is it sustainable? These are all legitimate questions that we need to ask ourselves. Today we may be laughing. That's okay. Today we may have some kind of space. That's okay. Food prices are down, inflation is down, but looking forward, going forward, and he said so. He said it rightly that we are building a nation. We are building a country for today and for tomorrow, perpetuity. And so all that we are doing today, are we going to be so selfish that we will go the shortest cut route in order to be able to have comfort in all these that we're talking about, disregard of what is going to happen in the future?
All right.
That is where the conversation must be situated.
I'll take you real quick. I think we have about 4 minutes to do this. I don't know if you can do 2 minutes for me, and then Honorable will do 2 minutes for me. Then
you see, government is trying its possible best to make sure that the fundamentals of the economy are strong enough for us to move forward. The people also have a responsibility. The markets have a responsibility. As government is putting the right things in place for exchange rate to come down, inflation to come down, the people and the traders should also equally start reducing prices. Otherwise, it's lopsided. And people don't feel it in their pockets. So they have responsibility. But most importantly of all, gold, cocoa, and oil have helped this country for years. The next stage is adding value. So, we have a gold processing plant on the Gold Board premises. International institutions that give certification are refusing to give us certification to be able to purify our gold. Let's push that so that we can add value. All the gold that goes to Saudi and all those places, they've added value. So they are getting quite a good chunk of money for it. We can't continue to do what? To export raw gold. We can't. If we add value to the gold, it gives us more money. Right now, TOR is working. I believe we should look at the Revenue Management Act again to see if we can get a portion of GMPC's oil to give to TOR. Yes, TOR is now a tolling institution, but if they can refine and refine for us and also refine to export within the sub-region, it brings in more money. Cocoa. Cocoa, we've been exporting cocoa like anybody's business, like mad. Let's add value to it here because you make more money from the cocoa culture. For me, that is the next step President Mahama should look at, adding value. And in adding value, you are creating jobs. Most importantly of all these things we talk about are roads. Our roads. For every added value thing we want, we need good roads. And so I ask myself, the MPP touted to us, we build JJ roads. Why are we facing the challenges we are facing today where roads are concerned? President Mahama is starting from where they left off. But we are seeing that where they left off, nothing to talk about in terms of roads. So it is the economy we need to look at and make sure that everybody understands where we are and everybody works with government to raise the situation in terms of building this nation.
Very well. Thank you very much. Honorable, do 2 minutes for me and then time is really...
There's no doubt we are all in unison about industrialization. Nobody is saying that this gold is going to take us to the promised land. No. But what was...
No, it will take us a promised land. It will take us a promised land. When you've got a situation where the entire country is covered in gold, it should take us to the promised land. It is how we handle it. Galamsey being a challenge for us.
That is what I'm saying, that industrialization. Because if we are going to use gold to solve our problem, like you rightly said, we should add value to it and make this place the golden hub for all the needs of the world. People will come here.
We are number 1 in Africa for gold deposits.
Yes. So if people know that Ghana, if you go to Ghana, you can get whatever gold you have, that is finished product, I think that will be for us. So there's no doubt. But in the initial stages that we found ourselves in when this government came, there was no way you were going to use 1 year to industrialize the country. No. So they had to do something to stabilize. So the first portion was stability. And I think they have done that very well. I'm an Nkrumahist. I don't have any apologies for that. I mean, in line with my brother. And we believe in industrialization, as what Kwame Nkrumah did, so many factories and all. I think Mama also is an Nkrumahist. I think his father was...
he was my father's ministerial secretary and my father was Minister of Agriculture.
Exactly. So
that's why you are in bed. Now
in bed where?
You understand already.
In bed where? Because I'm a CPP man. I'm a CPP man.
I think Mahama has got that edge to do that, like he has started with Thor. I will encourage him to go back to this Commander Sugar Factory, which he completed, and the NDC Sugar Factory, which NPP left it to follow in the 8 years that they were in power. I think that's the first thing now he has to tackle. And make sure that we reduce the sugar import and then go on to other factories like if you go to our western region, we have a rubber tie factory there. All these things are
also
glass factory and all. He must look into these things and bring PPP into the system and revamp all these factories. And
that
I think
law is a very powerful law.
Yes.
PPP Act. Act 1039.
Yes. So if we are able to do that and the people get jobs to do, then we are free to go. And with the backing of the gold, if we have got the largest gold deposit and we refine the gold and use them in the trinkets and produce these jewels from them, I think we are good to go. It will be one of the best economies in the world.
A very big thank you to Lawyer Kwame Jantua for joining me this morning. He's the leading member of CPP. Honorable Henry Kwabena Kokofu also joined us this morning as well, a former MP, Bantama constituency, and he had a message from Bantama as well this morning. Honorable Peter Yaw Kwakye Ackah, also former MP for Amenfi. I'm not sure you had a message from Amenfi this morning. But you had a couple of days,
Yeah, I had a couple.